how's everybody doing? I hope that you had a wonderful week. I hope that you are having a wonderful day today and a wonderful evening wherever you are located. We're going to cut straight to the chase today. And our title is Overcoming Fear. Do you have fear? Are there things that you're fearful about? We have a special guest tonight. Her name is Shana Danielle Parker. She is a business author coach. She's a wife to her husband Adam, and they are the proud parents of 5 children. Yes, 5 wonderful children. And she's going to tell her story, and I just want to cut straight to the chase. Welcome, Shana Danielle Parker. Let's give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
All
So,
right, all right. What's
well,
going on, Keller? I put in a request on Instagram, so you gonna go ahead over there, add me in, buddy. You got me.
hold on. Hola, Shana. Did I do it right?
And it's accepting. Yep. They say I'll start sharing videos soon. We're about to be live on Instagram as well. You got to turn your volume down so we don't have feedback. I turned mine all the way down.
Okay, got it.
There we go.
All right. So, Shane, how are you doing this wonderful day?
I am doing great. I am doing amazing today.
Okay. So, tell us about your story. You moved. You have this wonderful family. You're doing well. I mean, you're gifted. You're selling books in bulk. You're doing a lot. So what's going on in your neck of the woods? Tell us your story.
Awesome.
How did you get to where you're at? Were there some
So,
challenges?
yeah, so let's just start with, right? So I'm Shana Danielle and I am a profitable publishing coach. I help authors grow and scale their businesses by teaching them how to sell their high quality book in bulk, right? And so how do we even get here? So I was working in law enforcement and I did that for 10 years. I was inside of a jail. I worked 12 to 16 hours per day and I had this fear about writing my book. So I started writing when I was in the 7th grade, and I held onto the idea to write my book for 7 years. 7 years I toyed with this idea about writing my book. And it wasn't about can I write the book? Writing was no problem for me. It wasn't like how do I do the publishing process? I had researched that. There was no problem with that. But I was super, super. Hey, Deontay on Instagram. I see you in the comments, buddy. Appreciate you. So, the biggest thing for me was I was scared to lose my job.
Really?
I knew, yes, I knew that if I published my book and the people I was called to serve, it was going to be a conflict of interest because I was a correctional officer and then the people I wanted to help were the people who was inside of the jail. There was no way that I was going to be able to help the people that's inside the jail as well as help the people with my book at the same time. So I went through this like, man, I really want to keep this good job. I'm getting 6 figures. It got benefits. I got these 5 kids, right? And then it was like, but it's this, I want to say it was like this yearning on the inside of me that was like, you gotta publish the book. Like, you gotta do it. So I knew that was the Holy Spirit telling me, girl, get this book done. So I wrote the book
Mm,
and then I launched the book.
okay.
And then all went well. The pre sales was amazing. We pre sold hundreds of books. I did a full weekend of events to sell the books. So I was selling the books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had a great launch. And I said, well, I'm going to keep doing this. So I did it every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, at 2 different vendor events for book launches, like for my book launch and for book signings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughter came to me around Thanksgiving. So we like 1 month later. And she was 6. And she was always at the events. We got 5 kids. Nobody's watching all these kids, right? So she was like, Mommy, I want to write a book too. I said, You do? And she was like, Yes. Little did we know the pandemic was going to happen. So now she's in kindergarten. She had only had 2 weeks by the time we published, and then the world shut down.
Mm.
And so what started out as just a project on her wanting to have a book like mommy
Mm-hmm.
turned into something bigger when I reached out to some daycares and I was like, hey, my daughter, she got this amazing coloring book. It's A through Z affirmations for kids. How about you get it?
Mm.
Pandemic. Teachers are like, oh man, I need to keep my staff on board. The
Mm-hmm.
daycare owners, they
Right.
need to keep their staff on board. And so, with needing to keep the staff on board, that meant that they didn't have the resources to buy the book.
Oh.
They said, we can only get it for our after school programs. We don't have the resources to get it for the whole school. Where for me, I'm elated. I'm like, y'all still gonna buy some? Appreciate you, right? And Kamaya, right, where God will use children to lead,
Mm-hmm.
Kamaya was like, Mommy, I really want to get my book to all the kids. And so I'm like, all right, Lord, what you want me to do with this? You gave me the 7-year-old little girl, and what do you want me to do with her wanting to get the books? I said, baby girl, I don't got the resources for all that. I don't know how we gonna get it. There's a lot of kids. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
Mommy, we can raise the money. All right. So the next thing you know, I put together this campaign. We did this GoFundMe campaign, and I did it on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
By Wednesday, news outlets was reaching out to us.
Really?
Yes. And so once a few news outlets started reaching out to us and I figured out the format and
Mm-hmm.
how to connect, I
Okay.
started copying and pasting to some other outlets to get us
Oh.
more
So you
attention.
just needed a template of how to do it, and that opened up all kinds of doors. Now I got a question. During those 7 years, what type of thoughts did you have to fight to get to where you are today? What did you have to go through? Any depression? Did you go through some low self-esteem issues? What did you have to do to fight that?
So I went through a lot because during that time I went through a divorce.
Wow.
I lost my father to cancer.
Wow.
Um, I went through a lot during that whole time. I being inside of a jail as a officer, people will be like, "Oh, well, you get to go home."
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm working 12 to 16 hours per day, and then there's 24 hours inside of a day, and they recommend that we sleep for 8 hours a day, I was there all the time. I couldn't go to my car to check on my kids with my phone because we couldn't bring our phones inside. If I didn't bring in food to eat, I either had to eat the food there or I didn't get to go out, bring delivery. We couldn't get delivery, none of that kind of stuff. So that was a whole experience in itself, let alone if I publish this book, what happens if the jail finds out and they don't approve of it? And then they tell me, well, you can't do this, and then they try to, because some people, I'll put it like this: there was one person that was suspended for 6 months. There was two people, sergeants, officers. They were suspended for a period of about 6 months because of some comments that they made on Facebook,
Oh yeah.
and the comments were on some people who used to be incarcerated.
You can't do that.
So, if the people I'm called to help are the people that are incarcerated and I can't keep track
Mm-hmm.
of all of the inmates that are inside of the jail, my biggest fear was losing my job
Mm-hmm.
and not being able to provide for my kids.
So
And it
those,
really was a faith leap to
yeah.
do it. Like, there was no other for the type of fear I battled,
Mm-hmm.
it was nothing else but a faith leap. Now, I've come across some other fears on this journey too, but just
Mm-hmm.
to get published, it was just a true faith leap.
So was one of your fears um, you weren't sure of getting the product out? Did you internally fight the battle of the mind more than anything? Your thoughts. Did you have to? come with
I
another mindset.
the biggest battle of the mind on this whole journey
Okay.
happened about last month.
Really?
That was the biggest battle of my mind, and it was because of different struggles and life experiences that are currently going on. So I got life experiences, I have business experiences, I have my own past that I'm healing and overcoming from even the whole jail experience. And it seemed like everything was at one time.
Okay.
Where like writing the book and publishing the book, that was just one thing I had to overcome. Where like last month it seemed like it was everything. And the way that I got myself out of that was actually through a journal I'm going to be releasing in Q3 around my birthday time. And what I did each day was I wrote down an affirmation.
Hmm.
And there's life and death in the power of our tongue, and
Right.
what we don't all the way fully comprehend
Hmm.
is anything that follows I am, we're going to get a return on.
Mm.
So
Okay.
we can say I am amazing, or we
Hmm.
can say I am dumb.
Mm.
We could say I am a conqueror,
Hmm.
we could say I am defeated.
Mm.
But whatever follows I am is going to come for us.
Mm.
And once I fully tapped into that,
Okay.
that's when I was in a position to make a change in my mindset, in the way that I view things.
Okay.
And then I took it another level, right? Um, the old church singers would sing, count your blessings, name them one by one, count your blessings, see what God has
That's done.
done.
Right.
So I got super intentional. And every morning when I woke up, I would write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. So you
Mm.
want to start your days with affirmations. You want to write down 5 things that you're grateful for, because now I'm setting myself up to expect the best. I'm setting myself up to be filled with faith, right?
Mm. Right. So, did that help when you started doing that on a regular basis? How did that transform you from the rut that you were in to the success that you saw after you kept doing it over and over again? What were some of the early successes that you experienced?
Okay, so the the early successes that I experienced was one, bulk sales again. Bulk sales, right? And sometimes we don't understand, whether we're authors, whether we're business owners, whether we're parents, whether we're employees and we're trying to overcome something at work. We don't fully understand that sometimes we're the biggest obstacle that's standing in the way of whatever we want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't go into it with a winning mindset. We
Mm.
don't go into it assuming whatever the outcome is, right?
Okay.
So I'm going in confident. I'm going in and I'm going to assume that I got the sale. Like I'm
Mm.
going to assume it.
So you didn't go in defeated. You went in with full faith and full confidence. Mm.
Yes, and that overflows onto other people. People, right? We can feel energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so by filling myself up with those daily affirmations, by filling myself up with writing down 5 things that I'm grateful for, by filling myself up with whether it's reading the Bible, right? I read the Bible daily. Or you got, different inspirational, motivational things you can choose to listen to. Our eye gates and our ear gates are one of the biggest ways that we can guard what comes in.
Mm.
So now we have control of what flows out.
Mm. So as you got more experience in overcoming fear, how were you able to pivot when fear decided to come back at you? Since you now had experience of how to conquer it, what happened when it came back at a different as a different form?
So when it came back as a different form, what I can say is each time now, right? that it comes because we're on life, we're going to continually have to face fear. What I can say is that my battle with fear doesn't last as long.
Mm.
Remember, I struggled for 7 years with
Right.
publishing my book. Then, in 7 months after I published, God put me in a position where I can quit my job.
Wow. So when
And
when you decided to take action and step out on faith, you wasn't walking around in the wilderness for 42 years. Yours was 7, but as soon as you decided to step out on faith, your answer came in 7 months.
and then this last battle that I had last month,
Mm-hmm.
I was weighed down, right, for about 7 days.
Mm.
It took me about a week now. So that's what I so now I'm assuming that I'm being equipped with the tools that I need to not allow fear to weigh me down for a long period of time. I
Okay.
battled with it for 7 years, and then I overcame, and then 7 months now I'm stepping out to another level of faith. Now I had some other things happen that went on for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time something happens, I'm even better equipped. Okay, this might just last 7 hours. After
Wow.
7 hours, now it might just last 7 minutes. Now after 7 minutes, now 7 seconds, on to the next. Keep moving, right?
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
I'm on this progression journey where fear is not making this an all day arm wrestle. I'm
Right.
not doing this all day.
And it's a progression as you shown, like depression, sadness, and all that is a progression downward. Whereas when you're moving on the opposite, and you take that strength that you have to do the negative, and you start to do it for the positive, now you start seeing results come much faster. Oh my goodness! So, what were some of the early successes after you did the GoFund? After you did the GoFund, what happened after that? What were some of the successes that you saw after you got that off the ground? What happened with
Oh,
you and your daughter?
so that's when I was in a position where we got all our news outlets, right? So it was on Fox, ABC, NBC. So we did all
Mm.
that stuff, bestsellers, all that fun stuff, right? So we did that. Then we got our first organization to buy our books in bulk. And then baby girl at 6, we was able to negotiate her to get a paid speaking fee. So she got paid $500 for 30 minutes of her time to speak.
What? Hold on, we got applause there, y'all. You for a 6? She's 6 getting paid. What? Did
Yes.
y'all hear that? She's 6. She got paid.
Yeah, so she got $500 just to speak, and then he also bought books. So that was fun. And then we kept going, right? One of the news anchors that featured us, here we go again, networking, the power of networking. She gave us an in with a major school, Catholic diocese, all that, and they real connected, right?
Mm.
So it was one school, and then they worked with some of their outreaches. So it was 5 different schools that ordered over 500 books.
Hold on, hold on. You was just in the throes of depression years ago, and you did. Hold on, you stepped out on faith and did what you decided to fight fear and put action behind it, and God built all these roadways of success, and all you had to do was walk in them because you stepped out on faith and you believed Him. And you said they hold on. How many books did they buy again? Repeat
They
that number.
they bought over 500 books.
So, and you not blaming your situation from the past. You just decide to get out there and do something. Oh my God, this is impressive.
and
Wow.
and now, right? Fast forward over a year later, now we're in a position where we're potentially negotiating a over 60,000 book deal.
Hold on. Hold on. We got to. What? What?
Where that's what we're in the works to see, how that goes, and depending on what happens with that, that's just in one state. We're going to duplicate that to other outlets.
But they say black people don't read. They say that you can't be a successful writer. They say that nobody buys books. That don't
I
sound
know
right.
I know that they've been reading books since before we had books as we know them. We had them on scrolls before. So they've been doing books since the beginning of time. Books are not going anywhere. The biggest thing is, do you have a why, and can you articulate your why? Are you in a position to not just say, can you get this book? Nobody wants that. It's all kind of books out here. We said they've been around since the beginning of time. But the book that I created helps you with ABC, whatever it is. For my daughter's books, it helps kids overcome things like bullying, right? In a world right now where child suicide is at an all-time high, right? And so it helps kids increase their creativity, increase their confidence, and learn faster because they are having fun learning. You got the alphabet in there, you got affirmations in there, so they're increasing their confidence. And then my daughter put these amazing illustrations, ideas together that our illustrator drew, and she wanted all kind of kids inside of the book. So now you got children in there that are handicapped. You have children in there that are of different backgrounds. Yes, we follow Jesus, but there's a child in there with a garb, right? I mean, come on. Like all kids deserve to feel like they're important. And can you articulate that with whatever you're doing, whether you're coaching, whether you're podcasting, whether you have a book, whether you have a business, whether you have a agency and you're helping people with marketing ads, all kind of stuff? Can you articulate why somebody needs to work with you and what you do for them?
I need to take a station break here and welcome everyone that's in the comments and reaction section. Edwin Brown, Valerie Champion, my brother Adam Parker. God bless you, sir. It's nice that you're supporting your wife. Keep up the good work, sir. And everybody that's on Instagram, that's on both my page and Shana's pages. Thank you all for joining in. Now back to the discussion. So you decided to fight fear head on. You didn't run from it. You said, "Okay, Jesus, I'm gonna we're gonna make a plan to make it happen." And you have made it happen, child. So how in the world did y'all, after you quit your job, what was the journey to where you're at now? Please tell the people, what did you do?
So after I quit my job, I then also, me and my husband, we prayed about it and we made the decision to relocate our family from New Jersey to Georgia. We wanted to be in great proximity to some of everything, whether it's Florida, Texas, New Orleans, even if it's a 12-hour drive back to Jersey, New York, whatever. We wanted to be in great proximity to some of everything while keeping similar school districts. So we decided to relocate from New Jersey to Georgia, and it's one of the best decisions that we made. But that was a journey in of itself because that journey also in I'll say this, in an age where everybody's houses is flying off the market, right? You can't keep houses on the market. We put our house on the market. We had over 20 offers on the house. But the one buyer that we just so happened to choose was a buyer that got COVID. And so that pushed the closing of our house back 3 months.
Oh.
So instead of our house closing quick, our house didn't close for 6 months, 6 months later than expected.
Mm.
And that came with its own set of challenges because that kept us on the road a lot more between Jersey and Georgia. So we would leave on Friday because our kids were in school in Georgia. We would drive to Jersey for, that was like a 12, 13-hour drive, do what we had to do in the house on Saturday, and then drive back to Georgia either Saturday night or Sunday morning. So now the kids could go to school on Monday. And that was either twice a month or every week of the month, depending on which much as that it happened.
Mm.
And the the fear during that time period of what's going to happen with our house. Is it going to close? Are we going to have to put it back on the market? Oh my gosh, did we make a mistake? What's going on? But it built the character that I needed
Mm.
for this current season that I'm in.
Mm.
And the way that you overcome fear, right? I know everybody say you overcome fear with faith, but you overcome fear with knowledge, because faith come by hearing and hearing the word of God, right? Well, if you're scared in starting your business, if you're scared in writing your book, if you're scared in selling your book in bulk, what you need to do is fill the blanks with knowledge, because now that you have knowledge, right? Now you can, okay, now you can make informed decisions. So this journey of overcoming fear has taught me to be informed, whether that's reading, whether that's investing in coaching, whether that's investing in counseling, whatever it is, right? I have to fill myself with some type of knowledge to overcome the fear. Scared in launching a Kickstarter. Yes, Chris, over in Instagram, right?
Yes.
So people are like, "Oh my gosh, I want to do this Kickstarter. I'm scared, and if I do all of this and I'm putting all of this work in, what happens if I don't get funded?" Because with Kickstarter, you don't get the money unless you get fully funded. But if you fill yourself with knowledge in either one, how to do it, or two, investing in a coach to do it, that's not my area of expertise. There's this guy named Martin Pratt. Y'all can reach out to him. He know about the Kickstarter thing, right? But you fill yourself with knowledge, and now it's like, okay, I got the tools I need. So now the only thing that's left is what we talked about earlier, and that's a faith leap.
Yes.
For me to publish my book, it wasn't that, oh, I don't know what to do. It wasn't, oh, I don't know what I'm going to write. I don't know how to write. It took me 30 days to write my book. I
Mm.
fought it for 7 years because I was scared to lose my job. But in 30 days, I wrote it, did the whole the editing part of the 3 rounds of editing. I tell everybody, get you a professional editor, right? The
Yes.
3 rounds of editing. And then I
Yes.
went on and then I published it. But once I had all the knowledge, now it's just a faith leap that it's going to work.
Right.
And that's where we can't have fear at our decision making table. When we're in the boardroom, sometimes we consult fear, sometimes we consult self doubt, sometimes we consult procrastination. And then I was like, man, then we go and tell somebody else about it, right? That's not really in our corner. So now we got all these other negative things at our table, and then we go tell someone else about it, and they're like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. True. 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 Speak it. Speak it.
And now you're not going to step out. You're like, oh my gosh, you're right. No, we got to be mindful of who we share our dreams with, because we can Joseph a dream. And I don't believe it was the mind of God that Joseph went through all the challenges that he went through, but I believe that God can use it to still get him to his purpose. But what if Joseph just would have kept his mouth shut? Who said he was supposed to share those dreams with those brothers?
I.
And then
I.
we get upset when our family and friends don't support us, when our family and friends want to throw us in the pit when
Yes.
we're trying to get to the palace.
True.
And we find ourselves focusing on all our efforts on begging our family and friends to support us when that's not the people that we're called to.
Right. And see, you're doing the right thing, because sometimes when you have a vision, you can't share it with everybody, because when you start, just like you said, they start throwing dirt, and well, you can never reach that kind of money because you work at such and such a place. You're in a jail, or you work for a utility, or you do this and that, the other. Oh, quick station break. I have to recognize my big brother Albert Strickland. God bless you for being in the comments, and then my oldest child Kiana. Thank you, Kiwi. Appreciate that you're here. I had to shout
He
my
live
child
on
out.
Instagram and YouTube
Yes,
too, y'all.
yes, yes. I'm gonna get the sound effects and stuff down, y'all. I'm gonna get that down. And thank you all for over here on Instagram, because I'm going from side to side. I'm paying attention, but I'm trying to
How about,
multitask.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I know this is your
Go ahead.
show, but how about Keller is out here overcoming fear? One, by going starting to show up that he had on hold for a long time. Two, deciding we going live on Instagram too, not necessarily knowing how it's all working and all that kind of stuff. But once you have some knowledge, I says, okay, well, if you want to go live on Instagram too, you do this, you do this, you do this. Now you had the information, now you had the knowledge, now it just turns into a faith leap.
Right, and I'm gonna give you all a secret. Those of you that are out in hey, Samara, Pastor Mitchell, God bless you. Um, you have to step out on faith. I don't care if you're older. I said this when I was in my 20s and 30s. I said I will always listen to young people because I was once their age. And if they're 20 years younger than me, so what? I'm going to listen to somebody that's accomplished, somebody that sold books, somebody has had a website that has traffic, somebody that's on Instagram. And then, I'm just put it out there. This is my book coach that you are seeing today. Yes, the illustrious Shana Danielle Parker. Yes, I took her program, and I'm a better person for it because this Instagram thing was spur of the moment, and I was like, and then she said, "Go do it, do it, do it." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna try." And here it is. We got folk on Instagram. We got folk on YouTube. We got folk on Facebook. We got folk on Twitch. We have folk. Forgot the other one that I'm on, but we got 5, 6 streams platforms. And I remember MAP TV. Yes, Pastor Samara. I have to show you. MAP TV was birthed 10 years ago. I didn't have the faith to finish it. And so when I was putting this together, I kept thinking, I said, Lord, what should I name it? He said, well, you do have MAP TV that you sit on. You need to get it out there. And so MAP TV is here. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Now back to our esteemed guest. So
So I
go
wanna I
ahead.
wanna comment on that though, right? Because you said that you sat on this for 10 years. Remember, I sat on my book idea for 7 years. I went through with it, and in 7 months, my life changed. God changed my life in 7 months. You sat on this for 10 years. I'm curious what happens when you stay consistent in 10 months,
Yeah, cause my
and it don't have to take that
it
long.
don't take long because when you keep putting stuff out there, my YouTube numbers never fell off. I thought that when I stopped speaking and I walked away, I thought my YouTube numbers would go down. I remember when I had 10 subscribers. Now I'm at 3,450 subscribers, and I'm just getting back into the game. Okay, but it keeps getting bigger even though you have old stuff. So that right there shows you have value. Just start back. Whatever your message is, just start back. You have Shana. I was about to call a doctor. I'm speaking things as though they are. I was about to call the doctor Shana. Jesus, where that come from? Is that's what you leading her? I already know she an evangelist, but we ain't gonna go there. But it's the truth. But anyway, no, you have
No,
to
but
start.
seriously, for real, the other part about overcoming fear is realizing that it's bigger than you. Whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever it is that you want to birth, whether it's a book, whether it's a business, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a child, right? Like, oh my gosh, when's the right time to have a kid? When's the right time to buy a house? When's the right time to launch a course? You gotta realize that whatever it is that you're about to birth is bigger than you. And you talked about them YouTube subscribers never falling off. The people are there waiting for you to say yes. There's a whole bunch of people that's going to be helped when you say yes. When you say yes to writing your book, when you say yes to starting the podcast, when you say yes to, I'm going to pitch an organization to sell in bulk, right? Because when I work with authors, sometimes that's the biggest thing. When I work with authors and they get my templates and stuff for my emails, sending the emails tend to be no problem. But making the phone call, because we get that fear of rejection. But I want to encourage people to take the shift off of you. Take the focus off of you, right? You're showing up to do whatever it is you're supposed to do, and the people that are called to you, they're going to say yes to you. They're already assigned to you. You are just here to help people make the best decision for them. Whether it's them subscribing to your YouTube, whether it's one person buying your book, whether it's somebody or an organization buying your book in bulk, right? You're just here to help somebody make the best decision for them and for them to identify if you are the person that they are called to, they are assigned to, you are called to them, vice versa, right?
Right.
That is all it is. And when we take that off of us,
Hmm.
it makes it easier to show up. I'm showing up. Is my people here?
That's true. And you never run out of content. Cause I did worry about that in the past, and then I said, hold on, I'm never running out of stuff. I got a big idea that I will share later, you all, that I'm not sharing now, but it's a big one that I got from. Wait a minute, you on this side of the screen? Oh, this one right here. I got a good idea that just blew my mind. I said, I got to implement that. But I ain't telling y'all what that is right now. But you conquer fear by what Shana just said. Okay, then you have the experience, you have the knowledge. Now it's time to get your butt up and try. I had to fight myself to get this podcast up, get the lights back up, sign up for the software, get the mic. Hey, Maceo, what's going on, Pastor? Oh, dang, I'm calling folk they title and they ain't got it yet. Well, amen. He gonna be pastor. But anyway, you have to start. And then God has a way of putting things in places for you. You just gotta walk. You can never see the steps unless you start walking in them. So many people want to stay in a spot where they were 10 years ago. But God has shifted. Why are you still there? The scripture in the Old Testament where God told the prophet that the brook has dried up. That means your brook of that life, it's time for you to move. And how you conquer fear, you got to start doing stuff. You can't sit back and be crying, oh, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? What did I do? Why me? No, 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 no. Joseph could have said that. Adam could have said that. Jesus could have said that. Jesus did say that. He said, uh, must I drink this cup? But he
Let it
did.
pass. He said it three
Let it pass.
times.
Thank you. He said it 3 times. Thank you. He said it 3 times. It was here. I just couldn't. But anyway, don't be a victim. Get out there and conquer it. Conquer fear. Look at our esteemed guests. And so have you had any speaking engagements connected to this thou esteemed Shana Danielle
I mean,
Parker?
I've had so many different speaking engagements, right? And the first one that I had, I was super scared, right? I was like, oh my gosh. And what I want to say is every time I have to speak, I get scared. But what I tell people is if you have the knowledge, if your book is done, if your speech is done, whatever it is, take that leap and do it scared. Do it anyway.
Yes.
Do it scared.
We got
Go
a
ahead.
comment. We got a comment here. While you were talking, this comment came from Pastor Stevens. He said, "Do it afraid." Same thing you saying. If that ain't confirmation, I don't know what it is.
Every time. And what I can say is that a healthy dose of fear keeps me personally, everybody might not subscribe to this, but it keeps me leaning on the Lord.
Mm,
So now I'm not doing things in my own strength. Sometimes we fear overcomes us because we go through life and we're trying to lift this 300-pound bell. It's like, when we have the ultimate spotter.
right.
So if I did all of the stuff I'm supposed to do, if I do the natural, God is going to show up and do the super.
Yes, and see, while you was talking, Pastor Stevens slid a scripture in there, Hebrews 11:7. Noah did it afraid. So go on, evangelist. You did it regardless. And yeah, it has a way of when we are humble, even though we scared, God shows up and we give our message and it blesses someone, and then we just go back to being regular people because we knew it was all God, not us. We were just a vessel. So that is wonderful. And then you have your boat book sales, your coaching. So, do you have classes in the aforementioned thing? Could you please tell us about your classes in case folk are interested? Because I'm gonna give the social media stuff away at the end, y'all. I'm still
Yeah,
working
so
on
I
stuff.
have a free masterclass this Thursday for any authors that's tapped in. And I'm going to drop the link on this Instagram comment, but it's movemoorebooks.com. Move more books with an S.com. And that's where I'll be going over 3 ways that authors can sell more books this year, right? Because we're halfway through the year. We only got a couple more days and we're halfway through the year. And sometimes condemnation will come and it'll be like, oh, you didn't do this yet, you didn't do that yet, you didn't do this yet. But condemnation comes to keep us stuck. Conviction comes to call us towards growth and change, right? So if we want, I can't wait to see you there, Chris. And if we want to make this second half of the year better, right? Specifically for authors who are selling their books in bulk, this is a class that you don't want to miss because I'm going to be going over different strategies that I have used in my own business and that I teach other authors to do to sell more books. And one of the things, and I'll give that right now while we're on, is that we got to figure out our why.
Yes.
So many authors just feel as though my why is my book. And I know that I know this even when they want to go and make a website, the first thing they'll do is their main website, not a landing page, but their main website, they'll name their book title.
Mm.
The main website. I'm okay with that being a landing page. But if your main website is your book title, you're telling me that your identity is wrapped up in this book instead of your calling.
Right.
And you can't have your identity wrapped up in whatever the thing is. You mentioned Moses and how Moses had the golden staff, right, for the snake that he used the staff, it swallowed up the snakes. The Israelites turned that into an idol and it got caught up in the thing instead of the creator of the thing. And if the
Right.
creator created you to do something with your book is just a tool. You, whatever it is that's weighing on you, whether you want to help people overcome domestic violence, whether you want to help men, whether you want to help children, whether you want whatever you want to help, you might want to help people in real estate, whatever it is, right? You are not the book. And fear will also keep us in bondage because of past perceived failures instead of lessons. And then I got this other saying, well, I'll say everything in life is a lesson or a blessing. And if you learn from the lesson, that becomes the blessing.
Amen. Say it again, Evangelist.
Everything in life is a lesson or a blessing. And if you learn from the lesson, that becomes the blessing. So learn from my lessons if you are an author and sign up at movemoorebooks.com.
MoveMoreBooks.com. Y'all hear
Chris
that?
says on Instagram, help make the piano be accessible to way more people. That's his why.
That's a good
Awesome.
one. That's awesome.
And now, Chris, right, for you specifically on Instagram, what I'll say to you is, okay, you want to help people make the piano accessible to way more people, but add more. Why? Is it that music has been proven to help with ABC? They've taken different arts out of the schools. And so now your book is a tool to help children with whatever the pain point is. So
Mmm.
I'm not going to fill in that blank for you, but you can take my word
Mmm.
for it.
Yes.
And then you add what the piano has done for you.
Mmm.
Because now people get tied into your story. They get tied into who you are. Because there's so many books on pianos, but there's only one you.
Can I sew in the Chris? Chris, she just gave you a $1 million idea. I haven't met you, but if you step out on faith and do that, sir, You can really do that because there is a plethora of people that are out there, and that's your harvest. That's your harvest. God bless you to write that book for those people. Now you get out there and you do it because God gifted to you to do it. It's time for you to get it done. You're here tonight. We thank God for you, but go ahead and knock them dead because you can do this, Chris. You got this. You will do this. We will hear from you again in the. Thank you, Jesus. We will hear from you in the future. Okay, so go ahead, get it done, sir. So we
He
hey, I
coming
don't
to the
mind.
class. He
Yeah,
signed up. He coming
yeah.
to the
I
class.
want
He
to see
gonna be
this
there on
gentleman.
Thursday. Oh, it's already set.
It's all. Oh, amen, Jesus. Thank you. I want to send a shout out to Dr. Tachi. She's the Media Scope Queen on Instagram. Anything media, she is awesome. Please check her out on Instagram. Just had to give Dr. Tachi a shout out. Now, Shana, where can people meet you besides movemoorebooks.com? And are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Can you please give folk the social media? We're gonna have to do it this way. I'm still getting this show.
It's all right. So listen, you're showing up and doing it anyway. Some people would have said, "I don't know how to work the lower thirds yet. I can't get it on the screen. I can't do it until I get it on the screen." But you're showing up and you're doing the work. You're doing it scared, right? Listen, you're not even used to doing this because you got the mic in front of the Instagram camera. But it's cool. You still on it, right? Like you're here.
That's for the blooper
So for
reel.
anybody that want to connect with me, you can follow me on Instagram at I am Shana Danielle. That's SHANADANIELLE. I am Shana Danielle. And my biggest ask would be that y'all support my baby girl, right? So Kamaya Chanel, this is her book. I love myself, and kids need so much encouragement, right? When they're doing different entrepreneur journeys. I mean, how many adults do you know that are walking around that haven't started the business because when they was a child somebody said, oh, you can't do it, you can't do it, da 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 da, right? So I love myself, right? You can either one, go to Color with Maya and just follow her, or two, if you want to go one step further and get the book for the child that you love and you want to help them increase their creativity, confidence, and learn faster, you can go to colorwithmaya.com. Inside, no, Chris, it's not on my page because I'm promoting Move More Books right now. I typically have like a top three, but on Color with Maya, that's her Instagram. I'll message it to you. It's on her page. So inside, she has all of these affirmations for kids. And then the crazy part that some people will say is crazy, they'll ask, why are there blank pages in the book? Well, Kamaya liked to color with markers. So she did not like that the illustrations bled through the page. And she says, Mommy, with my book, I want blank pages on the opposite side. And it made so much sense when she told me why. But it's a book made by a kid for other kids. That's colorwithmaya.com. Go ahead, Keller.
Uh, Now, this young lady made this at 6. She's 7 now, about to turn 8. So please, ma'am, please, sir, you have grandkids, nieces, nephews. Please go to that site and get that wonderful book. Please, please, ma'am, please, sir, support this business because we want to be an example to somebody that's 7. So by the time she's 14, she'll have all this experience because you all sold into her and you all blessed her, and her confidence keeps building. Also, Shana, do you have any book product out there that the audience would like to invest in? Do you have your own book and things of that nature?
I do have my own books, right? So my books currently that are available, I have two more launching this year, but I have Rise, right? So Rise is a book of inspirational poetry, prose, and affirmations, and it takes readers through different journeys of different people, from women to men, the Black experience, time, success, domestic violence, things like that, and allows you to know that no matter where you are on the spectrum, you can rise above different types of adversities. I included some of my own personal journeys in here, not in poetry format, but in a prose or in like regular writing. Most people say it's not a poetry book. You got too much in there, right? But that's Rise. And then for women, right? Because one of the things you asked me was about what I did back when I first started writing to overcome my fear. And so that was this journal. So I'm launching another journal, and that'll be Thrive in Purpose. This is Rising to Purpose, right? Thrive in Purpose will be for everyone. This one I did here towards women because I'm a woman. But it is different guided
Oh,
activities inside of here.
that's
It's all in
nice.
color. You start off with your what you want to accomplish for this quarter, and then I got different activities throughout to help you figure out your style and your method that you prefer
That's
to journal with.
nice.
So I have those products available. I have a store. Matter of fact, Chris, I have a store on my Instagram. I think that takes you there. But for Kamaya, that's colorwithmaya.com. For me and my products, that's all shanadanielle.com for all of my products. I have landing pages, but that just keeps it simple. shanadanielle.com. And even on there, you can even get Kamaya's books too. If you just want to order the whole kit and caboodle, you can get Kamaya's books too. But if y'all want to see the interviews that we've done with news and all that kind of stuff, colorwithmaya.com. And then if you're an author and you want to learn 3 ways that you can sell more books this year, that's movemoorebooks.com. Free masterclass Thursday, 7:30.
Now,
Sign up.
sign up, okay? Yours truly will be at that masterclass. Now, see how this is a legitimate interview. This isn't a pie in the sky. This isn't 3 steps to be the millionaire. This and that isn't a you gonna be a millionaire next month. Oh, this isn't all them lies that you hear. This is legitimate content, real content. Okay, from a real author, a real businesswoman. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's an auntie, she's a sister. Okay, and she's doing well because she's letting God use her. God is using this young lady to affect millions. Now, what can you do when you let God use you? Hmm.
Step out on faith, overcome fear, fill yourself with knowledge, right? And then do the work and step out. Hey, Carol, I appreciate you coming on. Writing coach Lynette, writing
Hey,
coach
writing
LK
coach.
joined the Instagram, y'all. Hey, hey, hey.
Thank you all in
I'm
Instagram
super,
land.
super excited. I know we're getting ready to wrap this up. We were talking about just overcoming fear, different things that I've done on my journey to overcome fear, from being scared to write my book for 7 years, right? Just holding on to the idea of it, scared to write my book, then writing my book, then God changing my life in 7 months, and me being able to quit my job and do this in full time, to me having my last biggest situation on all angles, just attacked on all sides, right? And I was able to overcome that in 7 days. And as you stay on this journey and you want to overcome fear, different things you want to do is keep yourself filled. You want to do your affirmations daily. You want to write down things that you're grateful for. You want to write down your wins, right? Focus on the things that you're doing well. Focus on your wins. And then you want to find you some type of Bible verse for me or inspirational quote for you. If that's not your faith, for me, I submit to Jesus. That's just my life. That's my journey. That's my
Amen.
experiences. So you want to do those things daily to keep yourself filled up. And then if there's an area that you're scared of, whether it's making a move, whether it's launching your book, whether it's starting your Kickstarter, thank you for that, Chris,
That was
doing the
awesome.
podcast, whatever it is that you're scared to do, fill yourself with knowledge, whatever it is that you need to do. YouTube, read a book, get a coach, whatever you need to do. Fill yourself with knowledge, and now it just becomes a faith leap. You got everything that you need. Chris said it in the comments about your toolkit. You got it now. You got to do a speaking gig. You're trying to sell in bulk. You're trying to reach out to organizations. Once you have all the knowledge, take the leap of faith and do it.
Now, y'all see why I wanted her to be the first guest on MAP TV. The first. Before we go anywhere else, I had to interview Shana because I knew that she had a story to tell and I knew that she had enough content to bless somebody just by her experience, just by her overcoming fear, just by her stepping out on faith, just by her stepping out and doing the work after having the faith. You see what she said? God blessed her after 7 years. God moved, and here it is. 7 months later, she is full time entrepreneur, full time. So, what can you do with the faith that you got? This is Coach Keller. I just wanted to bring on here. There will be a part two because I had too much fun on this one, and and y'all comments that y'all brought both on Instagram and YouTube and all the other places that we're at. It was wonderful to see these comments and the folk chiming in. Thank you for coming, and we appreciate you. I'm just gonna end the show. We'll see you next week, regular time. This is Coach Keller. We'll be back regular time, 7:30 next Tuesday. And we're definitely gonna have a part two to this interview because oh God. Man, my goodness, we almost did an hour. We did 50 minutes, 55 minutes.
I
Whoa!
know.
So again, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody in the comment section and the reaction section. And also, thank you all who chimed in on Instagram. We both appreciate you. Thank you for your waves and your comments and all that.
And
We
the
appreciate you.
hearts.
Yeah, and the hearts. See, I didn't see the hearts because I was too busy looking at the studio, making sure everything was right. But we appreciate y'all. We appreciate you. But uh, I'm praying that everybody here has a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you, Shana Evangelist, for coming and blessing the crowd and letting the Lord use you because it helped and people were here, they were chiming in. And more people are going to see this and they're going to reach out to you because you're going to get where you need to go, but then you're going to go even further than that. Just keep stepping out on faith. Keep doing what you're doing because you're helping a lot of people. And you're legitimate with it. It's good content and you're doing it from the heart. That's why God gonna bless you big time. He gonna put you in front of leaders. You're already almost there. He gonna put you further for big name people that make $150 $50 million a year. No problem, because of the what you have in you. It's only for it's only time for it to come out. He's just molding you and taking this and putting that. You are the clay, he's the potter. So every turn and every twist means something because he knows where you're going. He knows where your family's going. So when this don't work, he has the answer. He just ain't telling you all the time. You figure out a little later. And he's going to keep blessing you. So keep up the good work. With that, all minds clear. God bless everybody. Thank you again on Instagram. I just heard that. I had to give that to her. So thank you for chiming in. And I'm just going to end the show on a good note. I had a blast. Did you enjoy yourself, Shana? Or did you have a good
Yes,
time?
yes, yes, I did. This was a great time. Thanks for having me. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. For anybody just joining, you can catch the replay. We talked about fear. If you're an author, movemoorebooks.com. I'm on Instagram. I am Shana Danielle. And support my baby, y'all. Coverwithmine.com. Yeah.
Please. We out. So God bless you. God keep you. And y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. God bless you.